Test, test, 1, 2, 3, test, test, I'm not too loud, I'm not too loud.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Welcome one and all to David Barrow Stadium at the Veneto Club for round 3 of the Senol NPL Women's Victoria competition for this contest between the hosts, FC Bulleen Lions, and the visitors, newly promoted Keilor Park. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining us this afternoon on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, no matter where you happen to be tuning in from, be it here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or indeed anywhere around the world. An intriguing contest awaits us here in Melbourne's east by the Eastern Freeway Roadworks. Bulleen, uncharacteristically, well, it's actually never happened before in the NPL Women's Victoria era, losing their first 2 games of the campaign, going down 1-0 to Melbourne Victory here in round 1, and then, well, getting a front row seat to the Sloane Young show last week out at Avenger Park as they fell 3-0 to Avondale. However, Coach Caitlin Friend, having been suspended for the opening 2 weeks of the campaign, is now back in the dugout, and she will be hoping that, well, she can provide a spark, even if it is just from the dugout, to her side as they go in search of their first 3 points of the campaign. Newly promoted Keilor Park, after finishing second in the VPL Women's Victoria competition last year, they are undefeated after their opening 2 weeks of the campaign. A 0-0 draw with Alamein last week, following up a 1-1 draw in the local derby with Spring Hills to open their campaign, as Coach Liam Drury's side go in search of their first 3 points in the Victorian women's top flight. It's my absolute pleasure to be joined up here in the grandstand at David Barrow Stadium by the irrepressible Emma Burke of the Dubcast. Emma, thanks for joining me in this one. What are you most looking forward to today?
I'm most excited to see if Bulleen can bounce back, or if we're going to see Keilor Park's undefeated season continue. I was very surprised to see Bulleen not just having had 2 losses. It's not something they usually do opening their seasons.
So as the 2 sides getting out there, will be Keilor Park, the visitors, kicking off in what we'll call maybe a camouflage-inspired white away kit, kicking from left to right of your screen in this opening stanza. Bulleen wearing their all-maroon kits, kicking from right to left as Keilor Park gets us underway. Madison Rakic getting an early touch for Bulleen. She's the one change to this starting 11 by the Lionists, coming into the side in place of JG Garron. Take you through the lineups in a moment. We'll just have a little look-see at this Keilor Park attack. Commodore trying to get things going in the middle of the park. Keilor Park's Japanese import for Bulleen. They've got Alyssa Daloste in goal, Kat Ranahan, Claudia Mircic, Liam Aldiri, the captain, Sarah Kane, the aforementioned Madison Rakic. As the ball bounces through, Mircic lets it run to Daloste, Olivia Bomford, Tiff Eliadis. Maya Markovski leads the line for the second straight week, her second start after coming off the bench in round 1. Ashley Jordan and Alana Cornelino rounds out the starting 11. For Keilor Park, Maggie Byrne starts in goal, Kennedy Layton, Amelia Ingles, Tamsin Smith, Maggie Lehner, Mia Power, Jessica Sheehan makes her first start of the campaign, Summer Kapanekia, Runa Commodore, Abby Connolly gets her first start of the season, and the youngster Hunter Gersovic rounds out the starting 11 for Liam Drury. So, young 11s on both sides, Emma Burke, but maybe the touch of experience in there for Bulleen, the likes of Markovski and Eliadis, and as well in there Sarah Kane. A few gold medalists in there for Bulleen.
Yeah, you're not getting much better experience of the game through those few players, especially the likes that have seen the field in the A-League Women's as well. Markovski having played for Canberra and Melbourne Victory. Eliadis having played for Victory as well. It's plenty of experience despite how young this side really is for Bulleen.
As we see Bulleen try to work something down the right flank, doesn't come off. Lena wearing the armband for Keilor Park, trying to just hold play up. Not much doing. Rakic on the left. Centres it to Kane, making her second start of the season after missing round 1. Claudia Mircic wore the armband in her place in that 1-0 defeat against Melbourne Victory. Cordelino trying to turn on the Jets down the right. Former Western United flyer, looking for the byline, gets it in, it's going to fall, poked goalward, and it's just cleared away by Maggie Byrne. Olivia Bomford maybe didn't get as much of a touch on that one as she wanted, but early warning signs for Keilor Park.
Yeah, very, very loud warning, really. Unfortunately for Keilor, it looked like they actually kept that one in, which led to the shot on goal. But we'll see Bulleen restart with a throw-in down the left side. All gone in and out, and Keilor Park will run this one right out, look to turn on the break. Ooh, they've come through real quick. Long ball, but unfortunately too much on it for them to reach, and Bulleen will turn it back over and push back up.
So Rakic trying to play Salah down the left. Not the most convincing of cutbacks. You had Markowski lurking, but rather comfortable collection for Maggie Byrne. One of a number of youngsters who have crossed over from the Preston Lionesses during the off-season for Keilor Park, but she's been bottled off, but Markowski finishes into an open net. The whistle remains unblown, and that is FC Bulleen Lions 1-0, their first goal of the season, and a suitably physically dominating one from Maya Markowski. Just sort of, well, they're seizing the initiative, Emma, and then there's that.
Yeah, you can't invite Markowski in like that. You can't invite her in anywhere, really, but you really can't invite her in one-on-one with the keeper, because she's going to do that to you 9 times, probably 9.5 times out of 10, and get the goal too.
Well, she didn't give a flex or anything after that goal, but she did. Yes, she did.
Came down and
shot a bow and arrow.
Why? Couldn't tell you, but that was the celebration. So good stuff.
Using all of that large frame of hers to earn the early advantage for Bulleen in just the 5th minute of the game. She was at one point, I think, the 2nd tallest player in A-League women history. Only Casey DeMont listed as taller.
Was she? We'll never know. Keilor Park with a restart now. Choosing to play back after that is definitely a choice. They've made it to midfield and turned the ball over straight away back to Bulleen.
So Mia Power trying to get things going down the left. She can't burst forward, although Keilor Park will clean up their own mess, and now trying their luck down the right. Sheehan faints inside, then goes down the flank, charged down quickly by Rakic, who comes up with the ball. That's Jordan. And they're on the left, sends it central. Cordolino, we've already seen her get down that flank once and send in a dangerous looking ball. Similar intent once more. Bit freer for Markowski, who rattles the side netting. High degree of difficulty on that one. Ball moving away from the goal, and she also had Kennedy Layton, the American, for company. But Markowski certainly strikes us in the mood today. Elena, talisman of Keilor Park, trying to spark her side into life. Didn't see any options, so she had to go, well, rushing onwards, so she had to go backwards. Now Layton. Knocking the ball around the back of Keilor Park. And they're going to turn the ball over sloppily. Kane. Jordan, first time ball central, couldn't find a teammate. Connolly comes under fierce pressure. Eliadis. Markowski sends it out. Wanted Cordolino. Far too much on that one. And Keilor Park can have themselves a goal kick, but certainly Bulleen are keying in on Keilor Park's desire to play out from the back, aren't they, Emma?
Yeah, I'm not too... Personally, not a huge fan of playing out from the back, but that's...
Oh, you get it launched. Get it launched.
No, see, this is what I personally would prefer to see. This game it feels like one of those interesting games where even though you know both teams have the same number of players on the pitch, it really does feel like Bulleen somehow has 6 or 7 more people out there. I don't know how they're doing it, but they are.
Come back to Delaste, who had that early touch, but has mostly been a spectator these last 6 or 7 minutes. But she'll have a chance to use her feet at least for now. Keilor Park maintaining their shape, not stepping up to apply pressure to the centre backs. Rakic. Sheehan in her face, which induces her to go to Mijicic. Aldieri goes to Kane, but she's going to lose the ball. Commodore monstered by Kane, and the whistle remains in the pocket as Bulleen comes forward. Big collision, play on once more. Kane to Bomford. Nice back heel, looking to slide through. Eliadis picked out importantly. Kennedy Layton, record-setting defender at Colorado State, and she needed to intervene then, otherwise Tiff Eliadis was clean through on goal, and when Tiff Eliadis is clean through on goal, you're back in her to make it 2-0.
You absolutely are. There's been a lot of outrage from the Keilor Park bench at a few of those moments just earlier. We'll have to wait and see what eventuates from that one.
Well, I guess if the referee's going to let them play, Emma, it's just important that it's consistently no calls, aren't. If it's going to be physical, you've got to let all of them go.
Yeah. So we'll see how we go, I guess.
See if the teams can adjust to a more permissive whistle. Got Shab Roshan out there with the whistle, one of the best in the business. This is signs the grand final last year for all work. There's Bulleen. Going to get restarted on the left flank, just trying to lock it in. Keilor's side of the park. Aldieri coming forward, but she's going to lose the ball. Mijicic getting across to deny Commodore any sort of avenue towards Daloste. Renahan can't keep that one in.
Yeah, Keilor Park should be happier with that bout of play there. Showing much more pressure on the ball, and a much greater desire than they've been showing in previous minutes to win the ball. Keilor Park still trying to make something of it, but captain Sarah Kane plays all the way back to her keeper in Daloste to reset and give her team the time to reposition. Now they'll look to push forward through their defensive line. Keilor Park still setting back, but seems to have made the right choice there. Ball comes all the way back just to get booted back into the middle. Referee happy to let that go. Hands in the down position, and we'll finally hear the whistle go. It's for an offside.
So Kennedy Layton to take the free kick. She's got Inta Gersovic on her right, the youngster, making her first appearance of the campaign. Something of a baptism of fire against Ashley Jordan on that flank. Back at Bulleen after spending time in the US collegiate system. Francis Marion University, University of San Francisco before that. Mijicic, Aldieri, Markovsky. Holding the ball up, taking it away from Ingles. Cordolino, nice turn, and then trying to use that speed. Cut back, Eliadis. Ran into the brick wall that was Kennedy Layton. Kane. Just her pass deflect away. And we got an injury behind play here. Be an issue with the right ankle. Both players are going to huddle up here as Oh, it's Mia Power out there on the left. Goes off to receive a bit of treatment. Another former Preston Lions representative. She only came into the starting lineup back in round 2, did Mia Power, after Amira Macunya suffered an injury just minutes into Keilor Park's opening game of the campaign and was lost for the rest of the year. So they've been in the wars early of Keilor Park.
They definitely have. That's the absolute worst, those early injuries. But we'll get a drop ball from the referee to restart, and Bulleen will continue their assault.
Geary gets it to Markowski. As it pinched off her by Runa Commodore. So Keilor Park still without power on the pitch, currently playing down one player. Leighton, long ball forward, but there's nobody really there in the vicinity. Maybe hoping that Lena was just making a darting run, but not quite. As we're seeing Keilor Park increasingly drop deeper and deeper now. Some individual brilliance on the press is going to steer them forward, perhaps. Kapanekia out there on the left. As players arriving, Sheen was at the back post. Eventually, that's where the ball is going to go, but it's going to just agonisingly inch in front of Jess Sheen and out for a goal kick to Daloste.
I think that might be the point for Keilor to make. They're going to have to find some real key moments of individual brilliance, I think, to kind of push through this Bulleen side and I guess kind of catch them off guard in order to make something happen for them.
First time pass from Cordolino, and then the return ball from Markowski is a good one. A couple of players waiting in the middle, Jordan and Eliadis. Bongford as well. Oh, it's disaster. But it will not count. The flag is up. The flag comes to the rescue of Keilor Park.
What a
and
goal.
Avoids an own goal.
That would have been quite the fumble. It did look like the last sort of touch was off Tiff Eliadis' kind of back kick. But, yeah, either way, Keilor Park saved by the flag and the whistle.
As Bulleen look to press their advantage and maybe grab that 2-goal buffer with one that counts. Can Keilor Park use the respite, the second chance to start to construct a platform to get back into this one? They're going to have to get the ball back first, which they've done. Lena, she's forced to go back to Kennedy Leighton. Gersovic. Sheen on the right. Good enough to retain possession. Rakic putting it out for a throw-in. To Gersovic. Sends it central to her captain. Who did that last come off? Sliced off the boot of the young right back. Kane. Under a bit of pressure from Abby Connolly. So she went to Daloste, who's now found Liam Aldiri. In turn has found Mijicic. Rakic. Jordan. Central for Markowski. Heavy touch. And in her enthusiasm to make amends, she's given away the free kick.
She's put it right into the goalkeeper's legs. So they got a drop ball for Keilor. They'll play all the way back to their keeper in Maggie Byrne to reset. And now will Keilor Park be able to make something of the possession? Possibly. They've won a throw-in down the right-hand side of the pitch. It's a good attacking point for them. Wonder if they'll try and repeat what we saw just moments ago with that long cross in. So no repeat cross there, but we will see our first corner of the game going the way of Keilor Park. Setting up now. We've got Lena to take kick. Almost every player available in the box for both sides. Delivery in, and it's gone right over and sits on the top of the netting. Bit of a wasted opportunity for Keilor Park, you'd have to think there, Joey.
It was interesting when you see teams setting their number 9 across to take the corner, and when you look at Maggie Lena's resume, has played all over the globe, played for Women's Champions League football, so technically might be one of the best set-piece deliverers. I guess the trade-off is whether you want your technically gifted number 9 taking the corner or waiting in the box for the delivery. Rendered moot now, as you observed, Emma, as instead it's Markowski, Bulleen's number 9, trying to luck from range. It's going to ricochet all the way out for a Lioness's corner. And we'll see what sort of set-piece shenanigans Caitlin Friend and her coaching staff have been cooking up on the training track. Do make a habit of just sort of getting in a single file line at the top of the box before breaking.
I believe it's Olivia Bumford who will be delivering this one in.
The Tasmanian, one arm goes up. Right-footed delivery to the top of the 6-yard box. Players were flying. It was a good punch, though, from Maggie Byrne. It'll go out for a Bulleen throw-in. So Keilor Park haven't quite survived the danger, but they've seen off the most acute of it for now. I'm going to deal with a throw-in rather than a corner. Rakic to take it. Give her Eliadis. Bounces over the top of her. Kane wins it straight back. Eliadis once more. Tries to just go straight through Commodore, who was having none of it. Power out there on the left. Working against Cordellino. Working towards the line. Hustled over it. And Cordellino has done well. The winger who earned an A-League women's contract with a play back in the 2024 campaign with Western United. It's the hibernation of that club sends a number of Victorians back into the NPLW with no professional opportunities. Markowski another one, and she's poked it back for Kane, who tees it up. Probably should have done better with the time she had.
She'll probably want that one again. Yeah, had more than enough time to look up and pick where she wanted to put that ball, but unfortunately she picked just to the far side of the left post. You could see Byrne was diving for it in the correct direction, but if it had been on target, it probably wouldn't have mattered.
The skipper sees that ball go past her. Lena was giving chase, but Miocic kept her head and sends it back to Daloste. Now the central defender sends something forward for Jordan to chase. Kosovic uses her body well to hustle the ball out. Bit of a conversation between the referee and assistant before the free kick is awarded to Keilor Park.
It's always fun, these sort of lower league games, because you can hear a bit more from the players. You can hear them all arguing over whose free that was.
There's Miocic, just digs the ball over the top of an opponent and is able to find Kat Ranahan. The pass though for Cordellino, not quite as good. Power keeps it along the turf to Lena. Commodore. Kapanekia. Several of Keilor Park's best moments have come when Summer Kapanekia has been involved in the play. Byrne. Imagines that she won't allow Markowski to get her body into her any more in this game after that unfortunate opening goal in just the 5th minute. The Bulleen striker just bundling her over and then finishing into an empty net.
Excellent pass there to find Kapanekia again on the flank there, and she's again won herself throwing in a really good area for her side. Like you said, oh, it was Mia Power, my apologies. My apologies, Mia Power doing all the work there. Throwing into the box. Bulleen will do well to get rid of that one. Tiff Eliadis with a very good header in a dangerous position. Ingles comes through and puts it back across, and now Bulleen will turn it around again. Cordolino down the side. Fortunate for Keilor Park, who thought they'd done enough there to win the throw-in, but it has come off them last, and Bulleen will have the throw-in.
So sent back in by the Lionesses, who try to just fashion a way through this low block of Keilor Park. Repulsed initially. Rakic getting very far forward from her position at left back. Claims it once more. Kane all the time and space in the world. He thought about the shot for a second, instead went to Tiff Eliadis. Wall of players on the edge of the penalty area wearing white. Bomford will wind up. Dinkert looking for that top corner. Not the worst idea in the world, but it will sail over the fence, and somebody is going to have to go and fetch it as we see the summons for a new match ball from the middle of the park. But before they can do that, drinks break here. David Barrow Stadium at the Veneto Club. It is a hot one this Saturday arvo. Well, when they're at telling me it's currently 31 degrees. Decent amount of humidity as well. Bit of rain about. So 25 into this one. Drinks break called, and well, as it stands right now, Emma, I imagine Caitlin Friend's probably largely pleased with her side's performance to mark her return to the dugout from suspension.
Definitely. I think if anything, she'd only be irritated by the fact that they're not up by more. They've had quite a few good opportunities on goal to further their lead.
Meanwhile, Coach Liam Drury in the Keilor Park dugout trying to rally his side and maintain what has been an undefeated start to the campaign. They did draw 1-1 back in round 1 against Spring Hills. Abby Holmes, the goal scorer on that occasion, the English attacker. She's on the bench as an option at some point to be brought on. Pretty handy player you can bring on. Sarah Lorca as well, as she marks her return to football after an very extended time away. Really hasn't been able to put in a full campaign since I think 2018 or 2019 thanks to injuries.
That is a very long time. Hopefully we can see some good time for her this season.
So as is the theme of the starting 11, a lot of youth as well on the bench for Keilor Park. Weird goal kick to start this one off. One gets it launched. Eliadis got the header, but it only went as far as Power. Big collision between her and Kat Ranahan. Ball will fall to Bulleen's advantage as a result. Jordan's first time ball intended for Kane. Found its way to her. Markowski wanted to free Cordolino. Pass was charged down. Ingles throwing her weight around there in the centre back position. She'll now get back and across as Bulleen sends it to the left. Rakic trying to dig the ball. Not sure if it was from Markowski or Cordolino. Neither will receive it though as it goes out for a goal kick. Keilor Park throw in on that left flank. Hurled forward. Falls to Kane. Goes back to Mijicic, who in turn goes back to Daloste. Came under a bit of pressure, and has she coughed it up? No. Mijicic on the scene, but now there's potentially some space for Bulleen to operate in. You could see Sheehan sprinting back after applying that pressure. Jordan kept it low along the turf, couldn't keep it away from Leighton. Rakic, Mijicic, got Lena in the vicinity. Lena still looking to open her account for Keilor Park. Kane had her pass charged down. Long ball forward in the Jordan direction. Ashley Jordan working towards the byline, but it's excellent defending from Gersovic. Hunter Gersovic, the youngster, had to be good, and she was. Then Rakic, using her body well to win the ball straight back. Ball just got away from Bomford. Keilor Park just see it into touch and can now assume their defensive shape. Bomford lets it run. Let it run too far though, went straight to Tamsin Smith. One of the relatively few returning senior players from the Keilor Park side that secured promotion last season, which only magnifies her importance to Coach Liam Drury when you are entering into the top flight of Victorian football with such a young squad. Those leaders, those battle-hardened leaders, are worth their weight in gold. Sheehan, early ball, headed away by Mijicic. Danger not cleared. Opportunity for Keilor Park to test Daloste. Shot. Charged down. Lena at the top of the box. And now maybe an opportunity in transition for Bulleen. Markovski. Well marshalled by Leighton. Cortolino. She ran straight into Power's legs. Lena, first time ball around the corner. Sets Kaponekia something to chase, but the task is an insurmountable one, and it rolls through to Daloste.
You'd have to think if the weather were maybe 10 degrees less, she'd make that run, but under this kind of oppressive heat, I can't blame her for not even wanting to do that. Clever back heel from Markovski there. And Cortolino's all by herself in the box. She's shooting. She's scoring in the far corner. Alana Cortolino doubles the score for Bulleen at home. Big celebrations getting picked up and thrown around by Tiff Eliadis. But that was an excellent play set up by Markovski pretty far back with a clever back heel to release her down the line. And someone with the experience of Alana Cortolino isn't going to make much mistake in finishing that one off.
She was one of the breakout stars of this competition as a 17-year-old with FC Bulleen Lions, earning a place in Kat Smith's Western United side.
And that was only 2 years ago. She's only 19.
She's only 19, made 10 starts and 12 appearances for Bulleen last campaign. Couldn't really bring up a head of steam after her mid-season arrival and be quite as dominating, but with a full campaign to work in this time around. The teenager who you feel will inevitably get another opportunity in the A-League Women at some point, either with an existing side or if we do eventually get our act together and expands the competition.
Or if Western United make their way out of hibernation. A very long winter for them.
Of course, Bulleen in recent years under Caitlin Friends have become Bit of a factory for attacking talent. The last 2 gold medalists, well, the last two out of the last 3 gold medalists, given that it was shared last season, have been attackers playing for Bulleen. Maya Markowski in 2024, and then Danny Buttress last season. She shared the award with Alex Sinclair. So attackers at Bulleen have certainly ate well past few years. There's Markowski, fresh off her first goal of the campaign. Throwing her weight around and got it at Cordolino. So after scoring no goals in their opening 2 weeks of the season, Bulleen have 2 in the first 45 minutes here against Keilor Park. Trying to build up ahead of momentum as they get it out to Rakic on the left. She's been very busy and getting further forward as this contest has progressed. Markowski. Yeah. Ingles marshalled her well, and that's going to be a comfortable claim for Maggie Byrne. So now a real test of Keilor Park's mentality, I guess, Emma. This is the first time they've shipped multiple goals in a game in the top flight. As Eliadis wants to try to help make it 3, but her pass for Markowski doesn't quite come off. And Keilor Park, multiple goals shipped for the first time in the top flight. Very young squad against what, despite losses in the first 2 weeks, is a very well-credentialed and respected Bulleen side. Real opportunity for them to step up, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You'd have to expect this game is, unfortunately for Keilor Park, going to continue the way of Bulleen, and we'll see them go forward again. Looking for Markowski. It's a great ball in, but it's an even better last-ditch move there by Amelia Ingles to cut off Markowski. They'll try again. Tiff Eliadis cut back really close to the line, but Maggie Burns waiting for that ball and collects with ease. Starts marshalling her side forward to launch the ball back into play.
Well, maybe it's one of these games, Emma, where it's like second half, you get it to 2-0 at the halftime break, and then in the heat, bit of fatigue coming in, maybe stripping Bulleen or something, you look clean sheet in the second half, and then you look transition, can you get the likes of Kapanekia going, get a goal back, and then who knows? Yeah,
it's definitely one of those games, Joey, at halftime we'll probably see who's, when they come out for the second half, who's been more affected by the heat.
But needless to say, if they do want something from this game, it cannot be 3-0 at half-time. They've got 9 more minutes or so to survive, plus added time to keep it that way. Of course, a goal going in at 2-1 would give them all the momentum.
Absolutely.
Right now, if you are of the Keilor Park persuasion, it, unfortunately for you, doesn't look like that's going to happen, but you never know. Football is a funny old sport. Rakic. It's going to be a heavy pass, and actually Jordan a bit of a task, but once she meets, keeping the ball in by the corner flag there on the left, back to Rakic. Kane presents the short option, that's where it goes. Ball ricochets around, Jordan gets there ahead of Sheehan. Bomford's intended pass eventually finds its way to Tiff Eliadis. Not the path that it was intended, but the destination was the same. Kane under pressure from Kapanekia. Couldn't find a target, but again, the bounce favours the hosts. Cordolino stood up very well by Ingles. Mina as it poked away by Kane. Power getting across in front of Cordolino and putting the ball out. At last, taking a touch off the Bulleen flanker. So just ticked into the 39th minute here at David Barrow Stadium at the Veneno Club. If you are just joining us, it is the hosts, FC Bulleen Lions, with a 2-0 lead. Leah Markowski and Alana Cordolino in the goals. Just keep that one in. Mijicic. One other game has kicked off here in the Senol NPL Women's Victoria competition. Wannaberg, South Melbourne, not too far from here at Olympic Village. That one just over 20 minutes in, 0-0 between the Burgers and South Melbourne. Hellenic derby. Work the ball into a bit of space on the right, space which is rapidly closed down by Summer Kapanekia, but her sliding challenge has given away the free kick. And what, for all intents and purposes, is a corner kick here with the positioning. Down on that attacking right flank. You've got Olivia Bomford coming across to take it. Tasmanian, signed from South Melbourne in the off-season. Made 19 starts for Hellas in that campaign in which coach Justin Miklos' side just missed the playoffs. He's got Rakic for company as well. Pretty much every player in the penalty area is lined up on the edge of the 6-yard box. Bomford delivers it towards the back post. Mijicic is there, couldn't keep it in, and it will be a goal kick.
It's a very interesting setup for a play there, having everyone line up. But I guess it does well to keep your opponents guessing as to what you're actually planning on doing.
You're very well trained.
Mijicic swings a leg around, but couldn't find Markowski. Smith with the defensive header, but she's going to have to get back again here as Markowski, clever backheel. Jordan will wind up falling over as she shot. And Keilor Park scrambling defence, able to deflect it away before Maggie Byrne had to make a shot, make a save, I should say. Bulleen certainly not content with a 2-goal advantage heading into the halftime break, looking for that third one, which you would have to think would put, if not put the game to bed, at least start warming up its milk. In the hand, back to Liam Aldieri. All played into space, and Cordelino has wheels, but only 2 of them, so she's not going to be able to chase that one down before it goes all the way through to Maggie Byrne. Awkward bouncy ball on this artificial turf. Hitch got the header. Actually, Jordan has time to turn. Kane. Aldieri. Back at Bulleen after a year with Eltham. No, sorry, Banyule City in the VPLW. And try again, trying to play through Cordelino. But Ingles read the play well. Feels like Liam Aldieri's been around forever, hasn't it, ever? But I guess when you debut in the A-League Women at 15, that'll be the case.
You do kind of end up being here forever, yes. But it does just mean we get to enjoy many years of great football.
Markowski, one way and then the other before getting it to Cordelino. Ball up for grabs, Bomford claims. Cordelino has a few options there in the middle, trying to get through to Jordan, off the chest, shielding the ball, laying it off for Kane. Sarah Kane, bottom corner of the net. No mistake that time, and it is 3-0 to the Lionesses heading into the halftime break.
It was an excellent finish from Sarah Kane, and you tell that's probably exactly what she wanted to do the previous time she had that opportunity. Good to see she made no mistake this time with the finish. And yeah, this game now stretches out 3-0 for Bulleen just before half time. It's definitely a very, very big hill for Keilor Park to climb.
So 3 different goal scorers for the Lionesses. As Roshan spied something she didn't like, so we're going to restart. Restart again, but that one gets the tick of approval. There's 3 individual goal scorers for the Lionesses. Maya Markowski opening the scoring, Alana Coralino with the second, and now Sarah Kane with the third on the eve of the halftime break. Knowing Coach Caitlin Friend, she won't be content with just a 3-goal buffer, if nothing else, because Bulleen entered this game with a -4 goal difference. But also, you can put the ex-striker in the dugout, but you can never quite take the striker completely out of them.
No, definitely not. A team as successful as Bulleen has standards that they have to reach, and they are clearly showing what they're made of. Now Sarah Kane's looking forwards, trying to find Eliadis there. But the ball will come back to Keilor Park. Lena puts it through the legs. Just looking for her options up front. Still with Keilor. Pulling back in. Ball with Connolly now out to the far side. Out with Sheehan. And Bulleen have finally done enough to pull the ball back to their feet. Still with Bulleen. Now with Jordan. Trying to work around. Can't make it through. Turns it back over to Keilor Park. Lena looking out wide. Trying to find Kapanekia. But there's a bit too much on it. Bulleen will get there first. And Daloste will set them off again.
So the halftime whistle rings out here at David Barrage Stadium at the Veneto Club, and after losing their opening 2 games of the season, it is an opening stanza that Caitlin Friend would have wanted. A 3-goal buffer secured thanks to goals from Maya Markowski, Alana Coralino, and then Sarah Kane on the stroke of halftime sees the Lionesses head to the dressing room in a commanding position after 45 minutes, well on their way, you would suspect, to their first 3 points of the campaign. Keilor Park have been backs to the wall for most of this opening stanza, but we'll be looking to potentially rebounds. You could see the likes of Sarah Lorca and Abby Holmes introduced by Coach Liam Drury in the second stanza as they try to fashion something from this game. We'll have the countdown clock for company as we await the commencement of that second half here on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. To be sure to join us on the other side for more Senol NPL Women's Victoria action. Welcome back, one and all, to the second half of this round 3 clash in the Senol NPL Women's Victoria competition between FC Bulleen Lions and Keilor Park. And if you are just joining us here at David Barrow Stadium at the Veneto Club, it is the hosts, Bulleen, with a 3-0 lead. First half goals delivered by Maya Markowski, Lana Cordelino, and then Sarah Kane, putting coach Caitlin Friend herself returning to the dugout after a 2-week suspension to open the campaign in a commanding position. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for your company today on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, and I am once again joined, to my absolute pleasure, here in the grandstand by the Eastern Freeway by Emma Burke. Emma, big second half to come. One imagines Bulleen looking to pile on the plane, but Keilor Park a chance to respond and salvage, if not a point, at least some pride and maybe a bit of momentum heading into the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, definitely. They've got nothing really more to lose at this point from Keilor. From Keilor's perspective, they may as well throw everything in the kitchen sink at it.
So a few changes made by either side in that halftime break. We'll endeavour to confirm them and bring them to you as soon as possible. For Bulleen, it's a change on the left attacking flank. Ashley Jordan making way for Niasala, who will get 45 minutes in this one. 15 more than she got last week in the 3-0 loss to Avondale. To Gersovic, unable to just wrangle that one in as Bulleen take possession back. Kat Ranahan. Cordelino, back to Ranahan. Bomford turns. Mircic has plenty of time to tee something up. Rakic was being closed down by Caitlin Tamal, one of the halftime additions for Keilor Park, out there on that right attacking flank for the visitors. Poppy Gersovic is out there as well for Keilor Park, so another youngster entering the fray for the visitors. Bomford, I want to just wrangle that one. Hurled forward. Tamal. He's getting eyes on it, but Daloste has time and space before springing forward with another attack. Aldeary will get forward for Markowski. Tries to just head the ball around the corner. Cordelino battling against power. The latter getting herself a throw in, hurling it in the direction of Lena. And it will be a free kick going the way of Bulleen.
It's one of the rare times we've heard the whistle go in this game. It's been very free-flowing for both sides. Which is definitely what you'd prefer to see in this sort of instance, as opposed to one side getting calls.
Somewhat sloppy turnover there in the middle of the park. You see Smith come up with it for Keilor Park. Go back to Maggie Byrne. And Keilor Park were caught out on Markowski's first goal by the press, the striker bundling over the goalkeeper and finishing into an empty net, but the sapping heat that has marked this game, robbing Bulleen's forward press of some of its intensity, and they had time on that occasion to get the ball forward.
It's a mistake you only make once, inviting Maya Markovsky in. I doubt we'll see something like that happen again. Or at least I'd hope you would learn your lesson from that. Keilor Park now looking to make something happen. Unfortunately, Bulleen stands tall for them. Ball back with Deloste. And she'll work her way out. Cut off. And now, a long ball was looking for Kapanekia, but there was a bit too much on it for her to run onto. Bulleen will restart the play back with their keeper in Deloste.
Got to credit Tamsin Smith there. I know the turnover that resulted didn't lead to much, but it was her run in her press, following the ball around, forcing Bulleen to play it before they wanted to, that induced it in the first place. And in the heat, when you're down 3-0, it can be very easy to not do those little things, but Smith putting in the hard yards. Touched by Ingles to take it away from Markovsky. Leighton knocks it forward. Ranahan's header goes straight to Commodore. Kapanekia trying to play Tamal in on goal, but Deloste aware of the danger. She hasn't had a lot to do today, Alyssa Deloste, but remember, this is an A-League women goalkeeper, a stalwart of the NPLW as well with Calder United before that. Probably not one to zone out, even on a day where she's not actually being called upon that often.
No, definitely not. But we'll see Keilor Park now go all the way back to their keeper, Burn. Ingles does well there. They'll cut the ball through, trying to find Lena and turn it over back. Now with Cordolino down the flank. Looks to cut back. Looking for someone in the box. Eliadis gets a foot to it straight into the defence. They'll have another go. Back with Kane now. Back even further. Still Bulleen. Markovsky trying to cut in for Bomford. But Keilor Park do everything that they need to keep the ball at bay.
Salah's going to wind up the substitute. And radar just off. Getting underneath that one. Unable to bend it back. Had 4 goals last campaign. Did the 19-year-old attacker. 11 starts in 23 appearances. Eliadis rises to meet it. Markovsky swings a long leg at it. Couldn't find a teammate. They'll come up with a second ball with the Lionesses. Markovsky looking for the byline, but she's very well marshalled by Mia Power, and the 19-year-old sends it out. Very deep on that attacking right flank for the Lionesses. And Markovsky shed her marker and then will knock it in. Eliadis in the vicinity, but it was too close to the near post defender. Bomford, Ranahan gives it back. Drags it around one defender, cannot beat the second. Ingles, so often today, that last line of defence intervening once more, but Leighton not as clean with that clearance as she would have wanted to, and it's going to invite Bulleen to win the ball back and maybe create further pressure, but they'll in turn cough it up themselves. Commodore looking for teammates, looking for options coming with her, but none really forthcoming, and that will enable Bulleen to get numbers back and eventually have Leah Maldiri take the ball away from Maggie Lena and put it into touch.
She looked a little shocked there, Commodore, having come away with the ball there, and it was just her in a sea of red, really. But we'll see if Keilor can make something happen here now. Got Kapanekia working her way through really well. Lena cuts the ball. Probably not the delivery she wanted. Definitely not the delivery anyone else from Keilor wanted. Pulls it a bit short. And Bulleen now with the goal kick.
Good, Nia.
Nia Sala coming away with it, trying to slide through Markowski. Intervention from Leighton. Seeing off the danger at least initially, but Eliadis looking for Markowski. It was spilled to her, but her shot is cleared on the line by Maggie Byrne. Getting down low to her left. Maybe didn't hit it quite as sweetly as she would have wanted. Did the striker, but it still required a bit of saving that Byrne was up to the task of delivering on.
Good job, Pat.
Bulleen's really their best chance of this second half if they go in search of a fourth. Remaining substitutes have also finished being put through their paces on the far side of the pitch and are now making their way to the dugout. We'll see whether or not that's in preparation for another substitution. Approaching the hour mark here at David Barrow Stadium at the Benito Club. As Leighton puts that ball out, you've still got Takara Argent, JG Garin, Cleo Angel, Rosie Roger and Alicia Urado on the bench for the Lionesses. Bomford gives chase and it was cleaned up as she tried to cut the ball back by Ingles, and that will ensure that Maggie Byrne can have herself a goal kick. Two arms go up by Maggie Byrne, big stretch. And she boots the ball clear. Just out of reach of Tiff Eliadis. Commodore, she's not giving up on that chase. Precious Daloste, who knocks it forward to Cordolino. Battling with power. And Keilor Park, none too happy to see the free kick awarded. Believe probably on that one, I think just the extension of the elbows, a bit not subtle enough with the shove.
No, but with those kinds of moves, they do kind of come in experience in time, getting away with those ones, that is. Kapanekia only 19, I believe.
Nia Sala trying to play through Cordolino. Power gets in the road. Midori. It's poked clear by Kane, but she goes back and gets it. Leighton had to get rid of it under pressure from Markowski. Tamal working against Rakic. Rakic wins out and gets the ball to Mijicic. Maldiri. Daloste. Some time before the hint of a press from Lena arrives. Maldiri thought about going to Ranahan, instead went to Bomford, who in turn goes to the right back. Looping ball forward over the head of Markowski. She'll get it back. Can she finish? Markowski does finish. She's got a brace. Bulleen have their fourth. And cruising to the 3 points are the Lionesses.
Yeah, it was a very nice finish from Markowski. Everything you've kind of come to expect from her play. We should have a few more, honestly, if she had been a bit more decisive. But, yeah, great to see her nabbing a brace. And Bulleen will be very happy to now be back at no goal difference.
Yes, they have evens the ledger on the season. A 1-0 loss in round one, a 3-0 loss in round two, and now in the 59th minute of this contest, 4 goals to the good. There's a couple of subs preparing to come on for Bulleen, and one for Keilor Park as well. Sarah Lorca preparing to come on for the visitors. Rosie Roger and Cleo Angel awaiting their summons for the Lionesses. So it's a couple of forwards for Bulleen awaiting their summons, or attack-minded players. Well, having said that, it is Bomford and Muldeary making way, so see what sort of reshuffle eventuates from this.
Here we go, Cleo!
So it looks like Angel will go to right back. Renahan will tuck inside as a centre back. Roger, meanwhile, will serve as the box-to-box number 8. Role that had been getting filled by Bomford before her exit. Here comes Keilor Park. Lena shifts her focus to the right. It's a good ball out there. Gersovic working against Niasala, who stood up her opponent well. Hunter Gersovic goes back to get it. And again, stood up by the winger. Poppy Gersovic down there as well for Keilor Park. The attack will just somewhat peter out as we've gone past the hour mark here on the scoreboard at David Burrows Stadium and the Veneno Club, which, thanks to Markovski's second of the day, now reads FC Bulleen Lions 4, Keilor Park 0. It's a good turn from Commodore. And then the long range, speculative, we'll call it.
You could see, I'm not sure if the camera showed it, but Kapanekia on the side here with her arms out. Bit in disbelief that she wasn't offered the ball. But, you know, if you see an opening and you're 4-0 down, I can't really blame you for trying to take a shot on. Now Bulleen getting pressed.
Good, drive Cleo, drive Cleo.
Angel now, her first involvement in the game.
Yes, good work.
With Markovski. She'll put those long legs to work and fire on goal as well. Shot goes over the bar. But she really doesn't need much space at all, does she, Markovski, to make something happen?
She doesn't need much space, but they afforded her plenty.
They did.
It's like the Red Sea parting in front of her as she advanced on goal.
They'd been doing, I felt, Keilor had been doing quite well of keeping her shut down for most of this game up until just before. Obviously, the first goal was hers, but you can kind of attribute that to being a freak accident, really. But yeah, they'd done really well keeping her out and off the ball, which is what you'd want to do when playing against Markovski. But Keilor Park don't seem to be going down too easily as they're winning a throw-in just past the halfway line in their attacking half. But they've turned it straight back over, and Bulleen will now have the throw-in. Ball's rolled all the way back to Daloste, who will pick it up. And they'll restart. Commodore the middle of the park, trying to lay it off for Lena, does so. Playing out wide to Kapanekia, but Angel has done well. Cleo Angel has done well for Bulleen to interfere there and cut her off. Keilor Park will get the throw in. Mia Power taking a few steps back to launch this ball all the way through the box. Commodore trying to lay off Lena, does so. Now all the way across. Cut in and blocked right back out. Bulleen doing well in their defense to keep Keilor from ruining their clean sheet.
So Deloste coming under a bit of distress, but kept a cool enough head to see the ball played out. And this pressure from Keilor Park, it will fall upon Sarah Kane to keep things moving, which she does, sending it out to the left flank. Rakic's ball forward to Niasala. Finds its intended recipient, then she'll bring it inside. Markowski did well to control it. She'll turn and face goal. She's on a hat-trick, but she sort of left it behind as she advanced into the penalty area. So no triumvirate of goals to be brought up on that occasion. Kapanekia has to let that one roll beyond her because the flag had gone up just straight into an offside position as the visitors looking to transition quickly. One imagines that even with the heat, this game will stretch slightly as we enter its final stages. Fatigue sapping players, and they're just positioning and, well, positioning discipline, one might say, just falling a little by the wayside as the heat tires the legs. So ball turned around the corner by Sarah Kane. She got the third for the Lionesses on the stroke of half-time. Well, that's not going in the highlight reel for Rakic. Straight to Commodore, albeit she's given it straight to Tiff Eliadis. And Eliadis bursting into the penalty area, but in the end, just rolling away from her with the space to allow Kennedy Leighton to get across and put the ball out. 24-year-old American. As mentioned, she's a record setter at Colorado State. Set the record for games played, games started, minutes logged for the Rams. One goal in her collegiate career, scored against the Air Force Academy back in 2024. It's Markowski twisting one way and then the other. She loves a back heel, doesn't she, Markowski? And that's another one logged. Gets it to Eliadis. The ball is swung in the Rosie Roger direction. Not blessed with the most height in the world is Rosie Rogers, so you've got to be pinpoint if you're looking for her in the penalty area. Leighton sends it out to Gersovic on the right. Tamal being absolutely monstered. And that will see play suspended briefly for another drinks break here at David Barrow Stadium at the Veneno Club. Score FC Bulleen Lions 4, Keilor Park 0. And after losses opening 2 weeks of the season, as we said at the top of the broadcast, first time in the NPLW era the Lionesses have ever done that. Absolutely, probably not just the win they really needed, but the performance they needed as well, wasn't it?
Definitely, definitely. It was very, I said it earlier on the broadcast, very unexpected for Bulleen to go 2 losses to open their season, considering the history of the side within the NPLW. So they definitely needed this. You'd have to think that their performances had something to do with the lack of their coach in the box after she was kept out with the 2-game suspension for the first 2 games of this season.
So preparing to resume play here. And at David Barrow Stadium, the sounds of the Billabong behind the park in the background. As players getting these drinks breaks in now, they might be looking back on them with fondness when we hit the dog days of winter and this venue turns into one of the coldest in the entire state. The wind and the mist and the chill rising off the back of the Yarra behind us. Commodore's going to turn the ball over. Tiff Eliadis poking through Cordellino, looking for her brace. Tathask with the control and the heavy touch off that right boot, just taking it through and allowing Maggie Byrne to make the claim. She'll get underneath this one, gets it launched. Sliding to meet it with Sarah Lorca, trying to turn it around the corner. There's nobody making the run for her though. Ingles uses her body well though, as Bulleen looked to spring forth in response, cutting off the run of Cordellino and ensuring that it would only reach the gloves of Maggie Byrne. Powers central ball, Lorca getting right amongst it since she's come on. And we talked about before the amount of injury, the length of the injury layoff she's had to deal with, but she's certainly not allowing that to prevent her from getting stuck into the challenges, as we saw just there. And I guess it doesn't matter what the score is when you play like Sarah Lorca, who's been out for so long. You're going to give your all no matter what, because you know what it's like to not be able to be out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely fearless play from her, time and time again, from all the few minutes she's seen in this half.
It's on the books now with Keilor Pack. Lorca, back in the day, part of those imperious Calder United sides that at times swept all before them, the likes of Catherine Zimmerman, Angie Beard, Alex Sinclair up front. The artist formerly known as Gulchan Kodja, now Gulchan Janitsaris there as well.
Yep, drop Cleo.
And the now Philippines women's coach, Mark Torcazo. Philippines, who will open their Women's Asian Cup campaign in Perth tomorrow against the Matildas. Some Senol NPL Women's Victoria alumni potentially featuring in that game. Angie Beard for the Philippines. Karakuni Cross for the Matildas. Spent time with the FV Academy program in its early years. As Eliadis trying to burst through, Byrne gets in the road. Steph Catley's time before the Senol NPL Women's Victoria competition, but Victoria's finest in there as well for the Matildas.
Yeah, Cleo, see your line. Good cat. To the middle.
Cordellino gets the ball to Markowski. Kapanekia sends it central. Commodore kept the play moving. Ingles had to be clean as she had Cordellino and Markowski in the vicinity, but she was. Leighton back to Maggie Byrne. And so Victorian Matildas and Steph Catley, Emma, do you reckon all-time men's and women's football, Steph Catley on the Mount Rushmore of Victorian football?
I think she is the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, she's all four heads.
Yeah. One for when she was at Victory, one for when she was at City, etc., etc. Ooh, and that one's gone clear over the stands that we're in.
So somebody's going to have to go and get that. Shoddy not. Disturbing the wetlands and the wildlife behind the ground. As Maya Markowski makes her way off the park, up 4-0. Her first 2 goals of the season under her belt. And gets a headlock for her troubles from Caitlin Friend.
Unfortunate she won't get to complete her hat trick.
Affectionate headlock, I should add.
Of course.
Markovsky's much bigger than Caitlin Friend. But it will see a reshuffle that has Maddie Rakic going up front for the Lionesses. You've got JG Garin who's come on. Looks like she's come on to left back. Rakic falls to the turf, contesting that ball. Angel trying to chase that one down. Kapanaki are getting in the road. So it will be a Keilor Park free kick. I do think I hear referee Shabrashan indicate, yep, will be. The crowd here, the Keilor Park contingent of the crowd here, none too pleased with the attention given to Amelia Ingles on that occasion. I believe I heard someone interject, is this rugby? Although the defender has remained down on the surface. And obviously it's been a very tough day at the office for both Amelia Ingles and Kennedy Layton, down 4-0, but they have put in the yards to prevent it from becoming even more of a blowout. Bulleen haven't sat back on their laurels. They've continued to ask questions of this Keilor Park defence despite the heavy margin.
So we've just seen a substitution for Keilor Park. We'll see Commodore exit the game, and in place for her, I believe, is Kaylin Sutton.
So the 19-year-old made her debut for the senior team last season. It's Banyul Sissi during their promotion-winning campaign in the VPLW. Get just under 15 minutes of regulation to make her mark. And whilst the game might be out of reach now for Keilor Park, especially for these substitutes, always a chance to make an impression during your cameos. Press the coaching staff. Press your case for further minutes. Sulla wanted Cordolino, sent it straight into Rakic, but the bounce will favour Bulleen. Garin, JG Garin. Turning on the Jets, getting into the penalty area, ball across. Wow. Not sure if it was a cross that got away from the left back or a shot. Whatever it was, the outcome was it sailing into the breadbasket of Maggie Byrne as Ingles, after receiving somewhat lengthy treatment, makes her way back onto the park. Eliadis breezes past one, past Wayward. Sutton. Her pass Wayward too. Angel to Renahan. Oh, that's a late challenge coming in from Rakic. No malice behind it. I think more fatigue and poor timing. And it's going to warrant her a yellow card. However, it's...
Very unclear how that's all played out. But
I think it might have been the whistle initially for a Bulleen free kick, and then
the yellow card.
Rakic collecting Kapanekia after the free kick had already been awarded. Because what I always say on these calls, Emma, at least, I haven't done the badges. Shabrashan knows a hell of a lot more about officiating than I do.
Yep.
And I'm always going to defer to her in these circumstances. Meanwhile, as well, we'll bring you an update from Olympic Village in a second as Salah sends this ball in. Kane collects. She's already got one goal from the top of the box. No shot on that occasion. There's Salah round one defender. Second takes it away from her. Ingles going to bustle her way through. There's maroon shirts all around her. Angel to Cordolino. She has speed, looking for the byline. Tries to just fake and draw out the sliding challenge of Kapanekia, but Kapanekia did well to adjust and take the ball back. Sarah Lorca sends it out for Tamal as Keilor Park look to transition. Oh, that's a late challenge on Daloste, and that's probably going to warn Sarah Lorca a yellow card, and it will.
And straight into the pocket immediately.
Can't be doing that on goalkeepers, the protected species of football.
Yes.
Talked about the update. It is just past the hour mark. At least it is on the SofaScore app out at Olympic Village. Heidelberg United 0. South Melbourne 0 in the Senol NPL Women's Victoria Hellenic Derby. So on the live ladder, that would move South Melbourne into the top four. Heidelberg United, meanwhile, that would take them to 2 points, but see them leapfrogged by Bulleen, their first win of the campaign, moving them up into 10th on the live table. Keilor Park down in 12th. Large chunk taken out of their goal difference with this defeat. Lorca cleaned up by Mijicic, but the whistle stays in the pocket. Garin, AG Garin, cut back, waiting for it, Rakic. Eventually saw the ball came to her, but setting it well wide even before it found the defender. Eliadis covering her teammate at left back. With a Kane, trying to play the 1-2. Eliadis has some time and space. Keeps it in. Dinking the ball to the top of the 6-yard box. Kept in by Cordolino. Salah cleared off the line. Cleared off the line almost with a casual level of disdain by Ingles. Like, how dare you try to slip that past me? Or maybe it's just because she's on the absolute end of her tether. Going down again. We've already seen her require treatment once.
Considering the shift she has put in
this heat. And yeah, you can see her indicating, I'm done. I need a sub.
Holding Markovsky back. I'm surprised she managed to make it this long after the first time of receiving treatment. So trainer's out.
Trainer's out. We do know that she will be coming off.
We do. There is a substitute ready and waiting, standing on the sidelines.
And good to see Ingles getting up, and she will come off under her own power. She'll have to make that long walk around the touchline. Georgia Thackeray preparing to come on. So another one of these youngsters for Keilor Park enters the fray. '84th minute here at David Burrows Stadium at the Veneto Club, and here comes Tiff Eliadis. Now Salah was in an offside position. Unselfish there from Tiff Eliadis with the head of steam she had. Could have forgiven her for backing herself to go for goal there. Had 5 goals in her 12 starts for Bulleen last season after switching over mid-campaign from South Melbourne. One of only 5 multi-time gold medalists in the state of Victoria is Tiff Eliadis. Won it back-to-back medals back in 2013 and 2014 with South Melbourne. Eliadis looking for Roger. Comes back out to Cleo Angel. Mijicic. Monahan along the turf to Kane. She was kept company by Sutton. And the ball gets sent all the way back to Delosto. Kane right into the bread basket of Sutton, who immediately hands on knees, bending over. That is not fun. All of the wind knocked out of her in one instant moment.
I could feel that from here. My God. You can also see there's been a bit of a structural change for Keilor after that substitution was made to bring off Ingles. Lorca now in the defensive line instead of sort of spearheading the attack, but Bulleen are coming back again. Salah with it. Big shots. Unfortunately, much too much on it. And the ball's gone careening over the crossbar. To get some help from someone who's walking around the back to bring the ball back into play. But Maggie Byrne will reset her side from goal. Keilor trying to make something happen. They've won the free kick there after being swarmed by Bulleen players. And they'll push many, many players forward for this. With Leighton standing over it. Kicks delivered. Good header. Puts it into the box, but there was no one further ahead to get that one, and Deloste will let that one roll as far as she can. Got less than 5 minutes on this one, not counting extra time. But Bulleen is still going. Still going. Starting to hear the whistle a bit more in these last few minutes.
Probably to be expected, I guess, as fatigue takes it out of players, the challenges become a little more sloppy. The mindset becomes a little more willing to just stop play and, all right, that challenge is good enough. But interesting free kick here. Host of players capable of taking this one for Bulleen. It looks like it's going to be Salah standing over it. Madison Rakic as well. Both can hit them. We've seen maybe Salah's radar a bit off. Some of her early attempts going over the crossbar. Maddie Rakic, who started the game at left back, has now gone forward amidst a series of reshuffles. It's going to be Rakic. Tried to definitely place it over the wall and into that top corner, but just getting underneath it a bit too much.
Can't be too upset with that kind of effort when you're already winning 4-0.
Yes. Now we see Rakic getting on her bike to apply the forward pressure, and she's forced a turnover. So 89th minute, and Rakic is still running, and she's the intended recipient of that throw-in. But she's given away. Free kick, Sarah Lorca putting her body into her, and winning the duel. Once more, Keilor Park getting numbers forward. I'll try to send that one around the corner. The ball will eventually come out to Sarah Kane. Just that metronome at the base of the midfield for the Lionesses. Rosie Roger. Her pass not the best, but Cleo Angel did well to win it and shield it from Poppy Gersovic. You got Mijicic. Pass a little off. She'll have another opportunity under a bit more pressure. Mijicic, she's on an adventure from centre back and she's shooting. And she's rattling the upright support behind the goal. Would have been a heck of a goal for a centre back to score, but just wide.
Yeah, definitely very out of place there, but still able to put a decent effort in on goal. You can tell they were all practicing their shooting.
Battled a series of injuries in recent years, has Claudia Mijicic. And Sutton, the substitute, she's kept running. Kapanecchia, a starter, she runs too, but Bulleen keep their heads. Cordolino, that's a nice touch from Alana Cordolino. Has power for company. Drags it back onto the left boot to the top of the box. Sarah Kane looking for a brace. Flicked it up, but not as much power as she would have wanted. Too close to Maggie Byrne, who made the save.
She's had a very impressive game, Sarah Kane. Really directing everything.
Oh.
It's a moment here. Oh, for Kapanecchia. He's just a few steps off a loose ball there between her and Daloste. Daloste comes away with it though. And Bulleen's clean sheet remains intact.
And there will be no added time here at David Barrow Stadium. 4-0 in this heat. The final whistle rings out quickly by the Eastern Freeway, and it is the Lionesses that are on the board for the first time in this 2026 Senol NPL Women's Victoria season. A brace from Maya Markowski and goals from Alana Cordolino and Sarah Kane, seeing Coach Caitlin Friend's Bulleen side running out convincing 4-0 victors over newly promoted Keilor Park. 3 points secured for the first time in 2026. Emma, and now Bulleen can look to build on this in the weeks ahead, starting next week with a visit to Melbourne City on Monday night.
That'll be an interesting game, considering City are also one of the new additions to this league. But with all the confidence built off of this game, I don't see a reason why Bulleen would have too much trouble there.
And Keilor Park, well, after 2 draws to open their campaign, they fall to defeat for the first time in the Victorian women's top flight. They only suffered 2 defeats last season in their VPLW campaign, and those came against the side they will play next week, Avondale, in a battle of the newly promoted sides.
A very, very good match to tune into.
Meanwhile, the Avengers, they will play, in fact, at Melbourne Victory tomorrow afternoon at the home of the Matildas. You can catch that one on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, as you can catch every game of the 2026 Senol NPL Women's Victoria competition, every game of the men's Senol NPL Victoria competition, select games from the VPL, Doherty Cup fixtures, and a host of other little goodies on that page. Make sure you're subscribed. Be a friend, tell a friend, get them subscribed as well. But for now, though, my name has been Joe Lynch. My absolute pleasure to be joined by Emma Burke here at David Barrow Stadium at the Veneto Club, as it is the Lionesses FC Bulleen Lions running out 4-0 victors over Keilor Park. Thanks for your company, and thanks and success.